You are on the record.
Good morning. Today's Tuesday, June 22nd. The time is 9 o'clock. The board is in session to conduct its weekly open business meeting. All three commissioners are present. We have with us our distinguished clerk, and we have with us our distinguished treasurer, and a number of other people, a couple of lawyers and staff people. And we have IT guy. All right, Madam Clerk, are there changes to the agenda?
No, they're not.
Okay, we have a bunch of people on the bridge. Lots of interest in this one today. Okay, we'll open with an appointment to the Air Quality Board. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
So I got to interview 4 people for this seat. Matt Stoll from Compass was with me on all 4 interviews. We had 4 good candidates, but Mr. Barois had, I think, the best experience, work history, and so I'd like to recommend appointing Denny Barois to the Air Quality Advisory Board.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I read the recommendations as well, and I would agree with that and would second that if that's a motion.
Are you making a motion?
I'm making a motion.
And you, did you second the
Second it.
motion?
Yep,
Okay, you've heard the,
well suited.
motion, to appoint, what's his name?
Denny
Rose.
Barois.
Denny Barois to the Air Quality Advisory Board. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, may I have a motion to remove unfinished business for consideration? From the table for consideration.
Mr. Chair, I move to move the unfinished business from the table.
I second that.
Okay, ordinance, number 922 was tabled from the June 7th OBM. Is there any discussion?
I seconded that, but I think we all need to.
Oh,
All in
okay,
favor? Aye.
that's right.
Aye.
Excuse me. All in favor of the motion to remove unfinished business from the table, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Ordinance 922 was tabled from the June 7th OBM. Is there any discussion?
No, Mr. Chair, I think that we tabled this because of Bob Batista's concerns, and I believe Bob's with us online. I just wanted to verify that he no longer has concerns.
Is that true, Mr. Batista?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the question. My phone was ringing. I tried to shut it off. I apologize.
The question is, do you have any further objections to ordinance number 922, which is the noise ordinance?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Commissioners, I do not, and thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
Okay, may I have a motion?
Well, Mr. Chair, before we get to that, I think we just did receive a complaint about somebody complaining about the fireworks after the Hawks games. Can I ask Bob, is there a rule for noise after a certain hour at the fairgrounds currently?
The current noise ordinance says that after 10 p.m., the noise needs to stop. I did talk to Mike out there, the GM, and he has a fireworks system. They do a big explosion, big noise thing, and I've told him that you can't do that past 10 o'clock. His games are just running long. It's my understanding from the fireworks permission that you grant him, that fireworks show that you allow him to do supersedes the noise ordinance. So that's maybe something we should take a look at as far as if you do grant fireworks permission to shoot them off, that they probably need to be within a certain period of time and maybe a certain decibel level as well. But right now, Mike is going to eliminate the big booms and just have the small fireworks if that's what happens after 10 o'clock. We'll kind of see both of those complaints were back on June 12th, which there was a loud boom and there was a big fireworks show, but he's going to reduce that and we'll see where that goes. I will be monitoring that quite closely though.
Well, that sounds good to me.
And Mr. Chair, this
Okay.
is something that we might want to take up with legal. I don't think that this board, when they approved the fireworks show, meant to supersede the noise ordinance. So I think that's something that we need to further investigate.
We can certainly do that. May I have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move to approve ordinance number 922 as listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 922. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We have Mr. Bob Perkins there with us this morning to, for the award, a recommendation and bid on number 21051. Mr. Perkins.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Before you this morning, under unfinished business, we have 3 items. The first of which is award of bid 21051, the Ada County Courthouse Public Defenders Remodel 2021. And the evaluation team has reviewed the bids for this particular project. We received 2 bids, we received 4 bids. 2 bids were non-responsive, and the remaining other 2 were over budget. So we have a letter of the evaluation team's recommendation.
If you'd like to read that into the record.
Okay, perfect. I would be happy to. Letter dated June 22nd, 2021, to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding bid 21051. Dear members of the board, after reviewing the 4 bids submitted, it is the recommendation of the evaluation group to reject all the bids submitted for bid 21051, Ada County Courthouse Public Defenders Remodel 2021. 2 of the bids submitted were non-responsive due to not having a public works licensed subcontractor. Additionally, the other 2 bids submitted were in excess of the budget for this project. In accordance with Idaho Code 672805, subsection 2, subsection 8, subsection A, Romanet 8, the Public Defender and Operations Department would like to request to procure this remodel on the open market to maintain costs within budget.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
Next, we have an awarded bid for bid.
I need to make a motion.
We do?
Yeah, Mr.
All
Chair.
right,
I'll
make a
move-
motion.
I'll move to reject all the bids for bid 21051, Ada County Courthouse Public Defenders Remodel 2021, and go out and procure on the open market.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to reject bid 21051. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have an award bid of 21052.
Yes, so Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, the evaluation team for bid 21052, the Ada County Replacement of Greenbelt Pathway Sections 2021, reviewed the sole bid submitted, and we do have a letter of the evaluation team's recommendation.
Okay.
Letter dated June 22nd, 2021, to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding bid 21052. Dear members of the board, after reviewing the bid submitted for bid 21052, it is a recommendation of the evaluation group to reject the bid.
Based on,
Based on the fact that we only got 1 bid, the bid with the adult was over the budgeted amount, and look at possibly engineering a more fortified section of that green belt and possible use of ARPA funds down the road.
Okay, may I have a motion?
yes, Mr. Chair, I'll go ahead and move to reject the sole bid submitted for bid 21052, based on the discussions and recommendations, and this is for the Ada County Replacement of Greenbelt Pathway Sections 2021.
Second that.
Moved and seconded to reject bid 21052. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Lastly, we have the final ranking and award recommendation for RFP 21054.
Procurement show today.
Yes, it is. Mr. Chair, Commissioners, the evaluation team for bid 21054 has reviewed the proposals submitted. They do have a letter with the evaluation team's recommendation for your consideration.
Okay, you can read the letter into the record.
I'd be happy to. Letter dated June 22nd, 2021, to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding RFP 21054. Dear members of the board, due to the evaluation team identifying incomplete information provided in the proposals submitted for RFP 21054, and to help clarify the requirements of the absentee ballot and mail-in services, it is the recommendation of the evaluation group to reject all 4 proposals submitted, revise the scope of work, and resolicit.
Okay, may I have a motion on RFP 21054?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to see if Phil has any comments before I make a motion.
Sure, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Kenyon. As I wasn't a part of the evaluation group, but as my team worked with Bob's team, one of the things is we realized based on the submissions, there was inadequate detail in terms of what we put as a scope of work, because some of the vendors, while they made valid proposals. They didn't actually meet the needs that we had, both in terms of volume and distance and some other things. And so I think with Bob's recommendations is we needed to refine what we were asking of proposers to make sure we got the bids that we were intending to get in terms of make sure it met. Because there was one proposal, I think it was a submission, but it wouldn't actually service most of our actual needs. Right, and so that doesn't serve us very well.
Okay, Mr. Chair, based on that further discussion, I'll move then to reject all proposals, revise the scope of work, and resolicit for RFP 21054, Ada County Elections Absentee Ballot and Mailing Services.
Do we have a second on the motion?
Second.
Moved and seconded to reject RFP 21054 and resubmit the proposal with more detail. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
All right, thanks, commissioners.
thank you. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I will be back at the, under new business.
Yeah, this is kind of like the procurement rejection day. Okay. I'm going to open the public hearing on resolution number 2636. It's a resolution for procuring Ada County Courthouse Public Defender's remodel. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony?
Mr. Chair, this is just memorializing the rejection of all those over the bids submitted for the Public Defender's project and authorizing Operations Department to go out on the open market.
All right.
I'll go ahead then, Mr. Chair, move to approve resolution.
Well, I probably ought to close the public
Oh,
hearing
yeah,
first.
that's right.
I will now close the public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll move to approve resolution 2636 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2636. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have a resolution setting forth authority of the program manager to act on behalf of the county commission and the Ada County Board of Guardian.
There's two of you now. There's two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and mute Katie.
I'm going to
Good morning.
the public hearing on resolution 2637. There's something we can do about that?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. This is simply authorizing Marika specifically as the acting program manager and so that she could do business on behalf of our clients. Previously, we just called out her title and she was having trouble with some of the banks around town getting them to let her act on behalf of our clients.
Okay.
I'm
Is there,
sorry, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair. Katie, what do you mean, I'm confused. You changed her title?
Let me address.
No, Commissioner Kenyon. Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
I'd say mute yourself if you can't. The feedback's coming from your computer.
Perfect.
Okay, there are, at least in one instance, some of the banks are not acknowledging Marika's ability to act
On
as
behalf.
have the authority of Ada County to act as
As
the
your
guardian.
guardian.
Yeah, for managing financials for some of the clients, and so this resolution just formally, you as the board saying, no, Marika is the point person for the
Carry
board.
the
of-
resolution
yes.
around with her to the
I-
banks.
She will actually provide the bank with a copy of the resolution saying, see, look, I have the authority to do these things.
Okay,
We already have the court assigning us as guardian to the county, now this is saying that Marika has the authority to act on behalf of the county for this purpose.
thank you.
we got double assignments.
It's, more hoops, so.
All right. Is there anyone who would like to provide any additional testimony? If not, I will close the public hearing. Is there discussion from the board?
Now, Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I move to approve resolution number 2637 is listed on the agenda.
Okay, do we have a second to the motion?
Second.
It's moved and seconded to approve resolution 2637. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Moving forward to resolution number 2021, fireworks ban. I'm going to open the public hearing on resolution 2638. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony?
Annie, can you tell us what this is again? Sure can.
Yeah,
I
the
think
regular,
this is just
this
the
is the
fireworks
renewal of
ban
the
for the-
fireworks ban.
It's for the,
Oh, for 4th of July?
right?
Well,
Here it is, and it has the map.
yeah, for unincorporated areas.
Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and just read a little bit of that into the record for the public. Sure. Okay. All right.
So the senior member of this board will read something into the record on the,
Yes, Mr. Chair, this is according to code, Idaho Code 3926-094. It makes it unlawful for any person to use fireworks in an area that constitutes a severe fire threat based on the vegetative conditions during the current fire season. And we have attached a map, if anyone would like to go online and take a look at where the prohibited fireworks area lies within the county. It will be on there. Thank you.
okay.
Mr. Chair, so where, in unincorporated Ada County would fireworks be allowed?
There, the map's right there.
So we do have,
It's in areas where there's extreme fire hazard vegetation.
so we do have some areas available. It's not a countywide ban.
Like the Hawks are lighting off fireworks.
Yeah.
Right, no, it's not a countywide ban, it's just banned in the areas where the vegetation is a fire hazard. Okay, is there further discussion on the resolution? Resolution 2638, is there any other discussion from anyone? With no further discussion, I will close the public hearing. Is there discussion from the board?
No, Mr. Chair, I'll go ahead and move to approve Resolution 2638 as listed on the agenda.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve resolution number 2638, fireworks ban in certain areas of the county. All those in favor say aye.
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 Nay.
Nay. Okay. Okay, I'm now going to open a public hearing on the request for fire protection annexation into the Star Fire District. Is there anyone would like to provide public testimony?
Mr. Chair, the prior board decided that it would be wise to send out letters to property owners that were not within a district to just to make them aware and let them know, and then if there's an opportunity to annex into one, and this is mainly for, protection, insurance, et cetera. And so we've had a few folks during the course of last year go ahead and want to move into an area that is within the fire protection district. So that's, I think, where these are coming from.
Is there anyone else who'd like to provide testimony? I'll now close the public hearing. Is there discussion from the board?
I'll make the motion if we're ready.
May I have a motion?
Yep, so I'll move to approve the order of annexation of Wesley Dockstader property into the Star Fire Protection District as listed on the agenda.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the Wesley Dockstader property into the Star Fire Protection District. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Okay. We'll now have licenses. Next on the agenda is the licenses. First, we have the ratification of 2 catering permits from the Curb Bar and Grill that were signed on June 17th. May I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve and ratify the 2 catering permits previously signed as identified on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have 2 catering permits for events at Underhill Garden that the Sheriff's Office is recommending denial.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I may just provide some comments. This is, I mean, you've seen some of these in the past, but I think it's worth bringing up, and Heather can provide more detail to the extent you want it, but we had this discussion with the prior board. Over the past couple of years, the catering permits have been used as a tool in terms of enforcement for building codes. So, I mean, you can speak to development services more specifically about this. I mean, this is the issue at hand here doesn't have to do with the service of alcohol or those serving alcohol, despite that's what the permitting process is related to. It has to do with there's a conditional use permit that may be being violated via development services, right? And that's where the sheriff's recommendation is coming in, is just whether they're meeting the conditions of their building permit. It certainly is putting Heather in a difficult spot often, because here we are recommending basically the cancellation of service at these weddings, and you can imagine wedding parties have pretty strong feelings about it, and really it has nothing to do with the wedding parties. It has nothing to do with the service provider for alcohol, the licensee. It has to do with the facility. I think there may be some other issues with this particular venue in terms of alcohol service, and we've notified ABC regarding that. I want to bring it just because it puts our office in an odd position, because our role is the permitting related to the service of alcohol, and we're getting further and further expansive in terms of how we're using this, right? And I recognize the difficult position that development services is in, trying to make sure buildings are safe to be occupied. So that this fits within line. The reason for the recommendation relates to how the facility is using their facility based on their permitting. Heather can provide more details, as I mentioned, but that's where the sheriff's recommendation comes in. And I just wanted to highlight it because I think you're seeing it, and I don't know that you've had any direct contact but you could easily have somebody reach out who's upset, about an event being canceled because
More than
of this.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I just bring this up as a broader topic of how we're using these license approvals, because denying the catering permits does not stop the event from occurring in these venues. It merely prohibits the service of alcohol by a licensed server at these events. But like, if people want to bring a cooler full of beer, this doesn't stop that, right? And so, anyway, it's worth noting.
Okay, because we don't, your office does not conduct or even enforce the building requirements.
Not in any way, shape, or form.
And,
But we do oversee alcohol licensing.
and that's what, so they're sort of using that to get around the building code.
Well, I do believe, and I think development services could speak to this better, is they don't have nearly as many tools to try and figure out how to enforce the building codes. And this is one of those ways of saying, well, if you're gonna be an event venue and you're gonna have a large number of people, it needs to be safe for the large groups to be meeting there. And so that's where the recommendations for denial come. And I think the sheriff's office and development services are better able to speak to it. I just know that poor Heather gets to deal with the
Yeah.
frustrated public members, and we're kind of in an odd position of, this isn't our thing, it's not our area of expertise either. We couldn't explain why it is or isn't safe.
Well, my question is, if we just deny the serving alcohol, the event can still take place, correct?
That is correct.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
wouldn't this fall to code enforcement to go investigate if there's
It
too many
is.
people in the
That's
building?
that's where the recommendation's coming, is from code enforcement, through the sheriff's office. But I do think, I'm not suggesting you do anything different here in this instance, but I do think there's probably a conversation that should happen with the sheriff's office and development
There is.
services to,
It's underway.
yeah.
Okay,
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I had a conversation with Lorna about this morning. Probably Heather has a couple of things to weigh in on, but this is continuing behavior, which is disturbing from this organization. We have reached out numerous times, and Heather's reached out numerous times, as well as our development services, as well as our code enforcement, and have told them what the restrictions are, and then they turn around and continue to advertise and sign agreements based on information that's false. And so we are looking into this, and I think Mark Firm will be getting back with us, as well as Lorna, hopefully on Thursday, so we can see what we can do to prevent any further weddings being planned and booked at this event, and then the poor brides to be are pretty devastated and scrambling, looking for additional venues at the last minute. So this is just a really bad scenario, and it's a repeat offender. So I'm hoping we can get to the bottom of it here pretty soon.
Yeah, and Mr. Chair.
where is Underhill Gardens?
Out off Highway 55, it's that interesting old building that's really odd shaped that is by the golf course.
Okay,
Yeah, and just to highlight, I think that's place at issue is Underhill Garden, right? That you'll notice Capital City Event Center, which is the license holder, is both on this list for denials and for approvals. Because as a license holder, they're doing fine. It's not, there's no issue with the purchase and actually requesting a permit. It's the venue.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion, but before we do, I think also the venue itself, regardless of the alcohol permit, they're stating a number over 50 and indoors, and their agreements show that it's over 50 and indoors. So they are violating their conditional use permit, as well as the alcohol license being an issue. So I'll go ahead and make the motion then to deny the 2 catering permits for Capital City Event Center at Underhill Garden and authorize the chair to sign documents on behalf of the board.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Been moved and seconded to deny the catering permits. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll take up the remaining catering permits, license transfers, and license renewals. Is there any discussion? We have 2 license transfers, 2 renewals, and a number of permits.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the remaining licenses as listed on the agenda, including 9 catering permits, 2 license transfers, and 2 license renewals, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second that.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have with us our distinguished clerk, Phil McQuade.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I think you're pretty well aware of what I've been up to.
What have you been up to?
Spent a lot of time with you.
You have your knee braces on?
I'll be ready this afternoon. I think we're in a really good position in terms of our deliberations for this afternoon. So if I can provide any information between now and 1 o'clock, but we're all set.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your good work. May I have a motion on the claims journal?
Mr. Chair, I move to authorize payment of claims on the claims journal dated June 18th, 2021.
Second that.
Moved and seconded to authorize payment on the claims journal. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Next up are personnel actions.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve the 17-step increases in the personal actions as listed on the agenda. The summary sheet remain on file in the Commissioner's office.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the personnel actions. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
We have with us our esteemed Assessor Bob Mcquade.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Got any
Commissioners.
updates for us?
I want to apologize for being late this morning. I had been asked to speak to a group of realtors. It was a virtual meeting and it went a little bit longer than I had planned. I put them on notice. I had a 9 o'clock meeting to attend, but I got out of there as quickly as I could. It was a fun meeting. Also, I want to thank Bruce Crisco because he agreed to walk in behind me, so I wouldn't be the last one to come into the room. So, thank you, Bruce.
We didn't
Okay.
notice you at all, but Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce. Yeah. Noted, Bruce. Yeah.
Just quickly, motor vehicles is really looking up every day. When times were really bad, we were seeing 800 to 900 people a day. We're now seeing about 1,100 people a day. Hopefully you don't remember this, but maybe you do, that we were closing down the line at some of the shops at 8:30, or no, excuse me, at 9:30, 10 o'clock, because we just couldn't handle the volume. We're now, the average time last week was about 3:45. Our goal was if we could make it to 3. That's the metric we were really watching. And it's 3:45, and it wouldn't surprise me if in the next week or so we're not having to turn people away, shut the line down at all. Another indicator is that the complaints that we've been receiving, and perhaps what you've been receiving, have gone down considerably too. That is also another sign that things are really improving. I think we're maybe I forgot what the average wait time is. It might be an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. You know, we were seeing wait times of 3 hours and 4 hours. A maximum wait time is 6 hours. So we're really getting that under control, and it's thanks to you, authorizing hiring 10 new motor vehicle clerks. And we had those all filled at one time, but we had some people leave. I think we have 4 openings right now, and I know they have 2 days of interviews scheduled. So things are looking good, but we have a long way to go to get back to where we had the 5-minute wait times, maybe 10-minute wait times but we're really headed in the right direction without a doubt. So thank you for your help. And if I can just add one thing, I'm so sorry for Commissioner Beck and Commissioner Davidson. You guys were just in the office, just at the height of this mess with motor vehicles, and you were getting phone calls, and I thought you had no idea what they were stepping into. So I wanted to, that certainly was not unnoticed.
Oh, we had an idea. I was one of the ones waiting in line.
Oh, yes, you were.
I had a big idea. I know
Yeah.
exactly what's
Yes.
going on.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine it. What's this?
Well, apparently we're getting a break on the budget, so it evens out, I guess.
Yeah.
We still have DOE, so.
Oh,
Still
yeah.
in here.
Oh, yeah, we do. We do.
How's that looking, Bob?
As of last week was an important week for us. The first 2 weeks, if you look at the actual time or the number of appeals filed, the average number of appeals filed, and the forecasted appeals filed, for the first 2 weeks, they're just very tight. So last week was a big week because that's when they start to diverge, and they are diverging. But we're still holding. We're about 35% fewer than we had last year. Last year we had about a little over 600 appeals, and right now we're 35% less than that. But who knows? I mean, anything could happen. But right now,
Keep our fingers crossed.
yes, yeah. Mr. Chairman, that's everything I have.
Well, thank you. Next up, we'll have tax cancellations.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'll go ahead and move to approve the listed tax cancellations, which are actually adjustments, as listed on the agenda, which include 5 tax cancellations for 2020, 1 casualty loss, and authorize the chair to sign documents on behalf of the board.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Thanks for that clarification, because these are not actual tax cancellations. We're just reciting the code. They're actually adjustments based on mistakes or something that's been made. All right, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
We have our distinguished treasurer, Beth Mon.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Mr.
morning.
Chair and Commissioners. Well, the property tax due date has come and gone. So taxes were due on Sunday. Because that was a holiday, the due date was yesterday. And then we were here last night, and as required by law, we assessed a 2% late charge on parcels that have not been paid. And this due date can be hard on some of our taxpayers to understand, because not only were they assessed a 2% late charge, but interest went back to January 1. So just wanted to make you aware of that. In the coming weeks, you might start receiving requests to waive late charge and interest. So we're happy to facilitate those. We try to handle as many of those as we can. If it's a simple mistake, we'll remedy that. But sometimes they do get escalated to you, so just making you aware of that. That's it.
Thank you.
Were there a lot of late charges assessed?
There were a lot, but it's not, that sounds somewhat alarming, because what we do today is a lot of the payments we receive today are actually timely because they were postmarked yesterday. So what we do is we import in those packets, we remove the late charge, and then we'll actually have a more realistic assessment of the
number.
late charge.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay,
payments are still trickling in that are timely.
Right.
And we have a
because of the
flag.
postmarked.
Exactly. So we process those manually.
Well, did you have any issue with the tax commission being closed on Friday?
Fortunately, we did not. We worked with them a lot yesterday, so it worked out.
All right. Well, great. Are there any other questions or issues with Beth?
No, thank you. I like your flag out there.
Thank you.
It caught a lot of people's attention because they would be standing, the taxpayers would be in the parking lot and call us, not knowing where the drop box was.
Not see the box, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Or they
love
thought
that.
it was a trash receptacle, or they thought something else. So,
So he said, just
Taxpayers.
go to the flag.
Here's the giant flag. I love
yes,
it.
so,
All
it was
right.
helpful.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Next up, we need to approve the minutes as listed on the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
We'll now take up interim event agreements and concessionaire agreements for Expo Idaho. Is there any discussion?
Now, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the 1 interim event agreement and 11 concessionaire agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have two Barber Park Education and Event Center agreements for parks and waterways. Are there any questions or discussion on these items? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the two Barber Park Education and Event Center agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any questions or discussions regarding the agreements on today's agenda? There's three agreements.
Now, Mr. Chair, I'll go ahead and make the motion.
I'll entertain the motion.
I move to approve the three agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the appropriate documents on behalf of the board.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the three agreements. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
We are back to procurement with Mr. Perkins and the opening of RFP 21059, Ada County Help Desk Managed Services.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, we do have 6 items before you under new business, the first of which is the opening of RFP 21059, the Ada County Help Desk Managed Services 2021. And Robin will bring up our bonfire. And today, we're just looking for the name of the proposer. So those are our proposers that are up there. If you'd like, I'd go ahead and read them into the record for you.
Read them in the record, please.
All righty, so our first proposer is CRI Advantage. Second is One Support. Our third proposer is Presidio Network Solutions LLC. And finally, the fourth proposer is Sanford Federal Incorporated.
Okay, they've been read in the record. Are we gonna open, or what are we gonna do here?
Table date?
Yep, we need to table it out for
Okay.
final ranking. We need a little time for the evaluation team to take a look at these proposals, so we would like to request that this be tabled for final ranking and award recommendation to the July 13th, 2021 open business meeting.
July 13th. Do I have a motion?
So, Mr. Chair, I'll move to table the final rankings and award recommendation for RFP 21059, Ada County Help Desk Managed Services 2021 to July 13th, 2021.
Mr. Chair, I'll second that.
You've heard the motion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Next is the opening of bid 21060, Ada County Jail Roof, Section 11, replacement for 2021.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, we received 4 responses for bid 21060, and Evan has our bonfire e-procurement system up there. If you're ready for us to go ahead and open the bids, we'll proceed.
Go ahead, open the bids.
And Mr. Chair, today we'll be looking for the name of the bidder, and there will be a bid amount will be base bid plus a $30,000 owner's contingency. So
Okay.
the Excel spreadsheet should be popping up here in just a second.
There we go.
Okay. Looks like it's thinking.
I think the old-fashioned way was faster.
Yeah, there was maybe not as much drama. Okay, so we have the 4 bidders up there. The first is AAA Roofing by Gene Incorporated, and their total bid amount is $444,832. Second bidder is Kano Roofing, doing business as Signature Roofing, with a total bid amount of $349,000 even. The third bidder is Nations Roof Mountain LLC, with a bid amount of $344,975. And our fourth bidder is Upson Company with a bid of $393,990. And Mr. Chair, we will need a little time to evaluate these bids, and we would like to request that this be tabled for award to the June 29th, 2021 open business meeting.
Mr.
I'll
Chair?
entertain a motion.
Sure, I'll go ahead and move to table the award of bid 21060, Ada County Joe Roof Section 11 Replacement 2021 to June 29th, 2021.
Second.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
We'll now open bid 21061, Ada County Public Safety Building, front entry remodel.
Yes, Mr. Chair and Commissioners, Ada County Procurement received 2 responses for bid 21061. Alyssa has our bonfire e-procurement system queued up, and if you're ready for us to open the bids, we'll proceed.
Is that the steps and stuff they're?
That's correct.
redoing
It's
them?
that front entry there and the steps.
Okay. Let's go.
All righty.
Makes Bruce happy.
Yes, I'd just like to take a moment, if I may, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, and
Sure.
thank Bob and his expert staff for helping us. As you can see, we've had a record number of projects going through this system this year, and he's been more than helpful, and all of his folks as well, and it's deeply appreciated. We've been doing a lot of maneuvering, as you know, to try to get these projects to keep going with the explosive pricing for construction materials, so appreciate Bob and his team's help.
Thanks, Bruce. Appreciate it. Okay, so the Excel spreadsheet should be popping up here in just a second. Okay, so our 2 bidders are up there along with their bid pricing. What we have is the base bid amount and a $30,000 owner contingency. The first bidder is EKC Incorporated with a bid of $302,370. And our second bidder is Layton Construction with a bid of $384,406. And Mr. Chair, we will need a little time to review these bids as well, and we would like to request that this be tabled for award to the June 29th, 2021 open business meeting.
I'll entertain a motion.
Then, Mr. Chair, I move to table the award of bid 21061, Ada County Public Safety Building, front entry remodel 2021 to June 29th, 2021.
Second that.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Next up is the opening of bid 21064.
Yeah, so Mr. Chair and Commissioners, this is the opening of bid 21064, the Ada County NRC Stage 3 Lift B Landfill Pipe and Material Purchase 2021. And we received 4 responses for this project, and Robin has our bonfire e-procurement system all queued up if you're ready for us to open. All righty, Robin. Just to let you know on this one, we have, we'll have the name of the bidder up there, but this one is going to be awarded by 4 divisions. So our first division will be Geotextile Division, second will be Drain Gravel Division, third will be Specialty Landfill and Gas Leachate Recycle Components Division, and fourth will be HDPE Pipe and Fittings Division. Bidders can bid on one or all, or so it'd be awarded by division based on the lowest price per division.
Okay.
So while we're waiting for that, Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
Bruce, have you seen the gaps that we're seeing in these bids? They're,
Actually,
that
some
last
of
one
them
was
are
100,000?
Actually, for a lot of these, we're well-funded, so we
Yeah.
did our due diligence
Yeah.
and planned
I'm-
accordingly as best we could.
Yeah, I'm just amazed at, like something, a $300,000 project coming in, 100,000 discrepancy between
Yeah,
bidders.
there's a lot left on the table on a lot of the bids. It depends how busy the company is. They'll make arrangements, if they get the bid for that difference you see left on the table. They're telling us in a lot of ways, that they're too busy. But if they get that fund, they'll make time.
They'll make time,
They'll
yeah,
make time.
okay, that's why the higher bids come.
They're just separated out by division on the left.
So, okay, so those are the, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're
Okay. I
just
see.
gonna table this today, so we don't have to make a motion.
Yeah, as you can see, we have a lot of pricing up there, but I'll go through each of those divisions real quickly. So for the Geotextile Division, Core and Main bid $33,660. Ferguson Enterprise bid $35,870. ISCO Industries did not bid. Specialty Construction Supply bid $33,661. For the Specialty Landfill Gas and Leachate Recycled.
About
Oh,
there's
it's
drain
drain
gravel.
gravel. Oh,
yeah.
I missed that. I'm sorry. On the drain gravel, we did not get any bids from any of the bidders. So
Have to go back out for that.
we will need to go back out for that. The Specialty Landfill Gas and Leachate Recycled Components Division, we have Core and Main with a bid of $4,766.40. Ferguson Enterprise with a bid of $2,443.20. ISCO Industries with a bid of $6,060. And Specialty Construction Supply with a bid of $3,248.80. For the HDPE Pipe and Fittings Division, we have Core and Main with a bid of $96,945.04. Ferguson Enterprise with a bid of $105,953.06. ISCO Industries with a bid of $102,245.04. And Specialty Construction Supply did not bid. And I think that's all of our divisions. And Mr. Chair, we will need time to run through these bids to make sure that they've complied with all our requirements. And we'd like to table this for award to the June 29th, 2021 open business meeting.
May I have a motion?
And Mr. Chair, I move to table the award of bid 21064, Ada County NRC Stage 3 Lift B Landfill Pipe and Material Purchase 2021 to June 29th, 2021.
I'll second that.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
We'll now move on to bid 21066, Public Works Projects, rebid, Juvenile Services.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, Ada County Procurement received 3 responses for bid 21066. And we have a letter of the bids received and a recommendation for award for your consideration.
Okay,
Go ahead and read it into
read
the
the
record.
letter in the record, yes.
Letter dated June 22nd, 2021 to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding bid 21066, the rebid of the Ada County Juvenile Services RTU replacement 2021. Dear members of the board, Ada County Procurement received 3 responses for bid 21066. The following are the names of the bidders and the bid amount submitted. Bidder number 1, ACO Engineered Systems with a bid amount of $160,817. Bidder number 2, American Chiller Services with a bid of $161,403. Bidder number 3, TML Commercial Services with a bid of $162,693. After reviewing the bids submitted, it is the recommendation of the evaluation group to award the contract for bid 21066 to ACO Engineered Systems as the lowest responsive bidder in the amount of $160,817. Sincerely, Bob Perkins.
PPPC, XYZ. or-
CPPO, CPPB, NIGP, CPP.
Did you say that again?
And they just keep adding to it.
I tried to.
I'll
Mr. Chair.
entertain a motion.
Yes, I'll move to accept the recommendation of the Evaluation Committee and award bid 21066. Rebid, I have Ada County Juvenile Services RTU replacement 2021 to ACO Engineer Systems in the amount of $160,817.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Lastly, we have bid number 21068, for projects, for the landfill, a truck bid.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, Ada County Procurement received 2 responses for bid 21068, the Ada County Landfill Service Truck Bed Purchase. And we have a letter of recommendation for award for your consideration.
Okay,
So, letter dated June 22nd, 2021 to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding bid 21068. Dear members of the board, Ada County Procurement received 2 responses for bid 21068. The following are the names of the bidders and the bid amount submitted. Bidder number 1, Cobalt Truck Equipment with a bid amount of $68,675. Bidder number 2, Utility Trailer Sales of Idaho with a bid of $84,385. After reviewing the bid submitted, it is the recommendation of the evaluation group to award the purchase order to Cobalt Truck Equipment as the lowest responsive bidder in the amount of $68,675.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion.
All right,
I'll move to accept the recommendation of the evaluation committee and award bid 21068 Ada County Landfill Service Truck Bed to Cobalt Truck Equipment in the amount of $68,675.
do we have a second on the motion?
I'll second that.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye. Expensive truck bed.
It is. It's one of those work type beds that has everything on it, welder, compressor, and the works. So,
There's still a high percentage left on the table on that one.
that one.
That's a bunch for
yeah.
a small amount like that.
The difference being that we were asking for either new or used on this, and Cobalt was able to do kind of a hybrid of both, of new and used. So came in quite a bit
Okay,
lower.
well, good.
All right, well, thanks, commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Our
you.
last agenda item is regarding the newest federal holiday, which the way that come about and the way that we got into it was unusual, to say the least. The President of the United States signed a bill on Friday, the 18th of June, designating the 19th of June as federal holiday, being called Juneteenth. That same day, the governor issued an executive order for state agencies that the state of Idaho would be recognizing Juneteenth that day. I guess it is the policy of the of Ada County that in order to recognize a federal holiday, we put it on our agenda and actually recognize it and have a in our policy manual. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I guess the discussion is, do we recognize it retroactively? I guess that's the discussion. Is that the discussion?
Anything you'd like to add? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that seems apt, as was discussed, whether you recognize it and what that recognition means. For other federal holidays, we provide time off or holiday pay for the holiday. I think the question is just, do you retroactively do that, and how do you do it? I think some of the feedback from others, I know Treasurer Mon has thoughts in terms of how best to approach it. I don't know if you want to, sorry Beth. didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Sure.
Mr. Chair.
We always like
Commissioners.
to hear from Treasurer Mon.
Okay, yeah, I just had, thoughts about how we're gonna handle it, going forward. As you know, this June 20th is a significant property tax due date under state law. So there could be some benefit in having at least treasurer staff available on the 19th, the day before the tax due date. In part to serve the cash taxpayer. That's often who we see on the 19th. So if the treasurer's office could have some type of in-person service available that day, there could be a benefit. However, should you choose that all county facilities are closed that day, we would do our best to educate the taxpayer in advance, saying, we're closed the day before the due date, but we'll be here on the due date. So we'll adjust accordingly. The first thing that did come to my mind when I saw this new statute, or federal holiday, was the potential for changing Idaho law's property tax due date to the 15th. Because that just aligns nicely with income tax. But then talked with some of the treasurers over the weekend, reviewed the statutes, and it really would put us in a bind in the November time period. As you're aware, this whole process with the budgets to the levies to the tax charge to PTR coming in from the state, it probably is not feasible to change that December 20th due date without some unintended consequence affecting some other statute related to assessments and levies. So that was my initial thought, but just wanted to put it out there. It's an important due date for the taxpayer. If we could be open somewhere, great. If not, we will take additional steps to educate the taxpayer.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I think you're aware, the city of Boise did it as a floating holiday. I think the city of Meridian may have done something similar rather than
That's for this year,
this for a year.
but not for next year. Do you know what they decided to do for next year?
Do you know, Steve?
They'll recognize
as a
They do a
holiday.
floating holiday at Boise for Columbus Day, but everybody else is just gonna have it on the day.
And allow-
Floating holiday was just given the time constraints. So
So we could do that and allow our elected officials and department heads to determine whether they needed to stay open that day. And if they do, then we pay time and a half or allow them a floating holiday.
Is it time and a half?
It is time and a half for.
Someone told me it was double time.
Yeah, it's time and a half for the holiday pay. The issue I see, so I guess looking backwards, the floating holiday works well, so that might be the best to
As long as it's
today's
used by
conversation. I
a
think
certain
moving
date.
forward, maybe there's greater discussion, cause I think Beth makes some really good points in terms of taxpayers. The challenge is for her office is she's located here in the courthouse, and that's just one small function of the courthouse, and so do you open it just for that, which you could, right? I do know from the Supreme Court, court schedules there will not be a court calendar on the holiday moving forward.
So, Mr. Chair, it sounds like we need a further discussion on what we're going to do moving forward, but I would recommend that for this past holiday, we allow a floating holiday to be used no later than the end of fiscal year 2021.
So that would be by the end of September. Correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Bethany is on the WebEx, in case you have questions for her, and she was also gonna put the resolution together with Heather to bring forward to recognize the holiday in any form or fashion you all decide.
So what you're suggesting is we need a resolution
We will have a resolution to approve the policy change.
Moving forward.
moving forward.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. When she's online, she can hear us talking right now.
Do you have
Chairman
a,
Commissioners, we will work on that for sure.
okay, well then, I don't think there's much more to discuss until we have that resolution in front of us, correct?
Well, they're two separate things, I think.
I think you
related,
can make a
but-
motion today if you want regarding what to do
From last week,
for last week, yeah.
You mean to recognize the holiday
Whether you would
retroactively?
choose to recognize it or not, I mean, you
Or
have
not
obviously the option
retroactively,
to
yeah.
not recognize it. Then the resolution, I think the resolution's actually not for the holiday, it's to change the employee manager handbook to
To recognize
adopt,
the
to
policy.
recognize it moving forward. Yeah.
Okay, well, is there a motion or?
I made the motion to go ahead and approve a floating holiday to be used no later than end of fiscal year 2021. And then we'll go and have a resolution moving forward.
Does that mean that you either take a day off of your choice, and if you don't, you get time and a half for one extra day?
No, you
No,
take it, you
that just
take it or
means
you
the
don't
only
get
option
anything.
is take a day off.
Oh. All right, well, I'll second that.
Okay, well, I would express my frustration with having to deal with something like this. It's just outrageous, I think, how this all come about, that so rapidly like this, that we were kind of caught off guard what to do. And particularly with the executive order being issued, because we had some confused employees, we had some confused elected department heads. What do we do with this? The acting sheriff got a hold of me and said he had 750 appointments to issue driver's licenses on Friday.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there looking at an executive order. I said, do your driver's licenses. We can't just stop on a dime like some people.
ITD did, they shut down, I believe.
Who did?
Didn't ITD? They shut
No,
down.
ITD left a couple of employees so that they couldn't continue with the driver's
Just
license.
skeleton crew.
They recognized the frustration that sheriffs would have all across the state on issuing driver's licenses on sudden notice to stop that. So yeah, they were closed, but they did leave some sort of a skeleton crew. I know the tax commission actually all showed up, but then they were given an order to go home. so they did. It was just, I think, a bizarre situation. But anyway, well, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman, how will this be communicated to the employees? Will your office send a memo out to the employees?
I'm looking behind you, Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Before
you,
we
Linda.
send it out, let's figure out the mechanics.
Oh, yeah,
Let's figure out the mechanics and we
How
can
you
work,
actually take the day off.
and we can work with HR and make sure that it's all done.
HR and payroll will get together.
HR, payroll, so that we don't have any snafus. along
Mr.
the way.
Chair.
Yes.
Let's just make sure that Bethany gets back to the board if there are departments or elected offices where employees are not able to take the day off because like the circumstances that your employees were faced with, they weren't allowed to take holidays, right, or vacation for a while. So I just want to make sure if there are a group of folks that we address that individually. Like EMS perhaps, but hopefully not at this point.
Is there anything else?
If you get a holiday, but then you don't, because you can't take it.
Well, we're in recess. Thank
Thanks.
you very much.
You are on the record.
Good morning. Today's Tuesday, June 22nd. The time is 10:01. The Board of Commissioners, sitting as a Board of Emergency Medical Services District, is in session to conduct its weekly open business meeting. All three commissioners are present. Madam Clerk, we have IT guy as well. And we have our distinguished clerk and recorder. Madam Clerk, are there changes to the agenda?
No, there are not.
I'll entertain a motion on the claims journal.
Yes, Mr. Chair, authorize payment of claims as listed on the claim journal dated June 18th, 2021 regarding EMS expenditures.
Do I have a second to the motion?
Second.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Next up, the approval of minutes. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Sean, you have any updates for us?
Mr. Chair,
There you
Commissioners,
are.
good morning. I actually came down this morning, but I wasn't sure if I was going to make my 10:30 meeting on time. So
Okay.
I'm actually meeting with the Urban Land Institute this morning on the Expo Idaho thing. So
Yeah, so am I.
Me too.
No.
10:30.
10:30.
Yep. Okay, let's go. Do you have any updates for us?
No real updates today, Mr. Chair.
All right. Well, good. I was listening to a report on the radio this morning. I guess the positivity rate and the infections are way down.
Staying down. We're just under 3 a day is what we're seeing.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
Influenza-like illness, so that's good.
Hasn't been that low since June of last year.
Juneteenth?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Juneteenth or not,
Last
but it was
year.
June of last year. All right.
Where is that elusive herd immunity?
I don't even know what that means. It must
It's
be
out in the
elusive.
herd.
It is elusive.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing we crushed the curve. Okay,
All right, we better get off the record before we get out of control here.
do you have anything else, Sean?
Mr. Chair, no, I do not. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll be in recess.
Thanks,
Thank
Sean.
you.
You are on the record.
Good morning. Today's Tuesday, June 22nd. Time is 10:05. The Board of Commissioners, sitting as the Board of Avamore Community Infrastructure, District Number 1, is in session to conduct its weekly open business meeting. All three commissioners are present. Also with us is IT guy and our Ada County Clerk. Madam Clerk, do we have any changes to the agenda?
No, we do not.
I'll entertain a motion on the Claims Journal.
I move to authorize payment of claims on the Claims Journal dated June 18th, 2020. Should that be 2021?
Yeah.
Regarding Avamore CID expenditures.
We might as well do them for last year too. I'll second that.
You've heard the motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next up, the minutes. May I have a motion on the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second that.
You've heard the motion. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. We will now be in recess.